Okay, so it's a fine rainy evening, and I'm robbing myself of one extra video here because I feel compelled to do my comparison video as I do a review of the new Gen 3 Saberforge Economy Defender. Now, see this? This is not the Gen 3. This is the Gen 2. All right. It wants to roll that way. It can roll that way. And here is the Gen 3. And oh my God. Oh, wow. Look at the differences. All right. They are various and sundry. Let's get in close. I get these two right up next to each other. Now, look at that emitter. That emitter has gotten longer, wider, and I'm having a hard time pulling the camera steady here. Okay, there we go. So the little sections here, the little silver sections seem to be wider, as are the anodized sections between the silver sections. I think there's the same number of them, but it's been elongated. And they've added this section here where you got like another bit of a groove, and this little bit of silver here, which is, you see that's a little bit of silver. Isn't that nice? And then you've got an anodized bit. So it's a similar design, but it's all been elongated and stretched out. I'm just going to kind of do like the front, and then I'm going to do the back because it's like a lot easier for me. So you've got this, always wants to roll away. Here, I'm going to get creative here. Don't mind me. Don't mind the extra accoutrement here. Sorry about the blackout. So that's going to hold that thing steady so I can focus a little bit more on what I'm doing. Anyway, so you've got the same little rounded off section here, but now the rounded off section has what I'm assuming is, well, I mean, that would be the LED retention screw. So this probably holds the new electronics in place, very similar to the Ranger. And there's your recharge port. Again, this comes with a cord, which I think I have to fish around in the box for, because in my haste, I kind of like just kind of dumped the box. Yeah, so this is your recharge port, and it connects to your device, your computer, what have you. And now we have a momentary switch on here, which, as you've learned, activates and deactivates the Saber, as well as enabling and disabling the mute function. And this is the other screw holding in this section here. You've got an elongated grip, and they also added this detail right here. And this is very nice. That's brand new. Gone is this this little cheap Saberforge-esque switch that you can already see the paint wore off, and that was from first and second usage. It just is not very well made, and it actually, if you look, you've seen this before, like it turns inside the chassis, and that's really chintzy. They added this detail here, this line here. The slats in the grip have been elongated. That's also nice. They added the same detail, the same line that you see here. That's been added. And that's, of course, the recharge port on the Gen 2. And the pommel has been completely changed. You can see it's a completely different design. That's been extended as well. And they added some anodized sections here, which is very nice. You still have your mesh in there. Okay. Now, let's see the back side. I'll do this slowly so you can see the affectations here. There's not that much different going on the back. It's just basically you've got a bit of a faux panel line here, as if you would gain access to mechanical thingamaboingers inside the Saber if it was like basically a real Saber. They actually thinned that to make it look a little bit more natural, like you would have an actual panel there. And of course, they don't have to have this screw here because that would probably be the screw that was holding the electronics in on this version. Well, now it's on the other side of the saber. So the details kind of extend, you know, from the front to the back. There's not that much difference. Now, as far as the sound, here's the interesting thing. My new Gen 3, it has a red blade, and as you'll soon discover, I'm trying to do too much here. Let's turn this on.
Power on.
I figure this is about 10 seconds to turn it on and turn it off. Right, so this is how the red blade looks on the Gen 3. I will do a comparison with the Gen 2 in just a moment. That's why I added a blade to that one, because that one has been bladeless, because I'm running short on blades. I need more blades. Okay. Does this font sound familiar to you? Yeah. So I figured out the lockup sound is essentially you hold down the switch for about 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, and then you hit the switch again and it activates. Let's see if my theory is correct. Alright, so that's how that works. Here's your swing. The class sound. If I can get to work. See, I'm destroying furniture for you guys. That's how much I care. Alright. So those are all your sound effects. Now, the reason why this is sounding so familiar is because...
Power off.
Alright, wait for it.
Power on.
Continue to wait.
Saberforge. Crimson.
See? Some theories have been blown out of the water. So my Ranger has a white blade, and it also has Saberforge Crimson. The Defender has a red blade, Saberforge Crimson. So I'm not exactly sure what the impetus for this is. However, the theory was that depending on the blade LED dictates the sound font that I was equipped with. But then I was thinking maybe, possibly, it is dependent on what hilt you use. But I'm sticking with theory number one. And because someone had viewed Saberforge's videos on these sabers, so I think there's some credence to that. I think basically what we're encountering here is maybe there's a limitation, certain, like maybe 2 colors or possibly, well, there's only, how many, 6, 7, 8, I don't know. Maybe 2 colors use the same font, just to limit the amount of work that they have to do on the electronics of these things. That's my theory, but I haven't watched the video. Another commenter did watch the video, and there you go. So the jury's still out on that one. So last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to turn this on. Now I'm going to turn off the Gen 3. And now you can just kind of listen to this thing. It doesn't have a blaster block, it just does the lockup sound. Please turn off. Thank you. Sorry I'm so shaky camera. I guess I'm a little bit more tired than I thought I was. And you just hear this, and this dumb switch kind of always sort of turned off. You have to be really careful to, and it just kind of goes whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And anyway, that's enough of that. Bye-bye Gen 2. Hello, Gen 3. Now let's focus on this. So let me give you a bit of a visual tour here, because we were all distracted with the older version. And now you get to see what the new pretty version looks like. Look how pretty that is. I have to say, I'm extremely happy with this thing. As with the Ranger, though, all of these details here, they're a little bit sharp. But my hands are old and they're calloused, and I'm tough as nails. You can hit me with a hammer and I will not crack. Please don't hit me with a hammer. I'm actually kind of weak. Anyway, yeah. So what do you guys think? Is Saberforge killing it or what? They've really just massively improved this saber. I mean, it's larger, it's more detailed, the electronics are better. It's a far more solid piece of work. I mean, the LED on the Gen 2 was loose. It flops around. Well, it ended up flopping around a bit. I think it fell out of position. They had to retighten. It was a big mess. Anyway, so the Gen 3, kudos to Saberforge. They're just killing it. I'm so thrilled that I bought this saber. It's $100. $100 frickin' dollars. And you get a saber of this quality. And I could just keep gushing and gushing and gushing, but I'm not going to gush anymore, because then, if you gush too much, you could die from that. You got to be really careful about the gushing. You gush too much, you could die. You don't want to die. Not from gushing. There's plenty of better ways to die. But that's for another video. Anyway, so the last thing I'm going to do, turn this on and swing it around a bit. Now, I get some schmutz on here. Don't mind the schmutz. This came with a 32-inch blade. I bought this one from the Etsy store, and it just kind of came with a 32-inch blade. For some reason, my Ranger came with a 36. I didn't order it that way. So let's look at that little funky kind of cut-off action. It cuts off the wave from the previous swing. And sometimes you do hit this button and activate that, but that's much better than accidentally turning the thing off. You get used to this sound. It's a little bit unfortunate that keeps happening, but I can live with it. The red on this is extremely bright. I hope you got the gist of that from seeing the comparison. Perhaps I'm kind of all over the place tonight. But let's give you, if this works, kind of an idea of how much brighter this is. Yeah, from my perspective, and these are both fully charged, there's no comparison. The LED on the Gen 3 is far superior. Far superior. At any rate, this video is kind of a mess, but I was excited to get it out, and I'm tired. Usually I rest before these things, have a couple beers, get myself all kinds of mellowed out. But I did not do that. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this reveal and this comparison of the old and the new. And if this, it's like the stupidest thing. Like, just the fact that the saber stays still when I put it down. This thing just rolls around, and I just want to throw it. Anyway, I'm going to leave everyone with that. This video's gone on long enough and I've exceeded 15 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And please, for gosh sakes, comment. Please comment. I will answer your questions to the best of my ability and in due time. Like and subscribe if you're so inclined. And I will see you guys very soon, possibly tomorrow night with my Kishi review because, wow, is that saber freaking epic. And that one came with a little bit of a surprise as well. And on that bombshell, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and I will talk to all y'alls later. And have yourself a wonderful evening, okay? Bye-bye. Good night.